forgiveness is really a process that is hers alone. My approach is that this discussion of forgiveness should really be off the table within the coupleship for a good long while. It's her personal journey, and especially if she has faith convictions that it's imperative she come to a place of forgiveness, she's going to be thinking about it. But it's inappropriate for a man who's caused betrayal and wounding in this way to require it or demand it of her. And it's not healthy for you as a partner to offer it willy-nilly, right? To say, I forgive you, in hopes that that would make things better or give you guys a fresh, clean slate. Forgiveness is powerful, and it's really helpful to some degree in dealing with the triggers that are caused by this trauma. But I recommend that forgiveness talk between the couple be off the table for a good long while as she continues to nurture her thoughts and her own spirit around that with support and guidance from those around her that she trusts. The reason it should be off the table is because very often forgiveness is something that a couple can jump to thinking that it's a solution, and it causes them to bypass some of the important bedrock steps that need to be taken. And so I recommend that while she's thinking about it in her heart and her spirit, that she doesn't initiate that process in a verbal way with him until they've been able to come shoulder to shoulder in a position of sharing the grief. And here's what I mean about sharing grief. So when you have someone who's caused betrayal and violated the code of fidelity within the relationship, and then you have the person who feels very victimized by that behavior, you have a situation that happened where one person's looking at it from this vantage point and the other person's looking at it from this vantage point. And that's what creates such difficulty for the coupleship, is that they no longer feel unified. There's trust that's been broken, there's attachment that's been injured. And so what's really important for them as they begin to heal, move through the steps of repair, reconciliation, and this all requires that he's got a solid thing going with integrity, that he's arrested his acting out behaviors and any abusive or manipulative behaviors that he used to conduct toward his wife in lying or denying his behavior. Once he's established that and there's some level of trust being rebuilt, what I notice is that couples who've had such opposite vantage points are able to come together and share the grief shoulder to shoulder, meaning that they reunite in a new and solid way. Yes, there's trust there, believe it or not. It's a different kind of trust than there was at the onset of the relationship. But this kind of trust is solid because it involves the partner's ability to tune into her own awareness, her own needs, and her own intuition. So it's a solid, different kind of trust. It's not a virginal type of trust is what I call it, where there's a belief that he'll never hurt me. This newfound trust where partners are sharing grief shoulder to shoulder is where the woman, the partner, understands he could hurt me again, but I have safety protocols in place for myself. I have a plan laid out for myself that I'm going to continue to heal whether or not he stays in the integrity he's showing me now. And so she does feel safe at that point because of the countenance changes on his part to come to a place of closer unity and seeing things from a couple's standpoint of what happened in our relationship. This is the process of sharing grief, and it's really important for couples to eventually get there. Once a couple's in that place, and this is usually down the road after lots of therapy, support, interventions such as disclosure, once a couple gets to this place, they are able to really have fruitful discussions around forgiveness. And this is kind of the next level for a couple that's in that more advanced stage of healing. At this point, what they're really doing is finding a way to create a new marriage, one that transcends potentially what they had before. And you have to think, too, with the level of rigorous honesty that's required within a marriage after there's been this kind of betrayal, with the level of intentional rediscovering of intimacy and connection, with the level of hard work that a couple has to put in after betrayal, it's no wonder that they can reach new heights in their marriage. And so I want to encourage you if you're in this place, if you're a man listening and you've betrayed your wife and you are solid about never going there again, moving forward and reclaiming what's meant to be in your marriage, I just want to encourage you to tune in as you're healing to all of these things that we talked about, to making sure you have support, she has support, that your coupleship has support, making sure that you're aware of your roles in helping her heal, alongside helping yourself heal and helping the relationship heal. Make sure that you're attending to her need for a trust rebuilding process, her need for emotional and physical safety, her need for empathy from you, tried and true understanding of what she's been through, and her need for emotional and sexual intimacy support and repair, and potentially some boundaries there that she'll have to place until she feels safe to engage with you in a manner that feels free and healthy. So if you're a man, I am excited for you to continue on this journey with those things in mind if you don't have them in mind already. What I find is that as men grow in integrity and grow in healing of wounds from their past, what they become really good at is knowing the depth and breadth of the pain that their wives are in and really wanting to go to work to become an agent of healing for her. So if that's you, I commend you. And if you're a partner, I want to encourage you here to continue on in your own healing journey, regardless of where your husband is at. You might have a husband who's in a solid recovery, somebody who's making countenance changes and higher order change that you really see and trust. And that's amazing if that's where you're at. You might be in a different position where you're divorcing or divorced already because of the betrayal and the lack of repair on his end. Or you might be ambivalent, not sure where it's going to go. Whatever happens in your relationship, I want to encourage you that you can heal. That's why I designed my course, Women Who Discover, because I love walking alongside women who want to heal regardless of what their husband ends up doing, because they know they can't control him. So if your husband's in a good place, this is amazing, but keep going on your healing journey. If he's not, then you need to keep going on your healing journey. It's up to you, which is really unfair. Let's be honest about that, because you didn't sign up for this, and I know you didn't ask for this, and yet there's so much work that we as partners have to do to heal. But I also want to encourage you to stand up for your needs. These things that I've mentioned are important for him to attune to and for you to advocate for as you both journey together if you're in the midst of trying to restore your marriage. And as a couple, I just want to encourage you that I do see marriages heal from this. And what's amazing to me is the level of deep connection and gratitude, believe it or not, for how far they've come. One thing I hear repeatedly is that couples say, I would never want to go through that again, and I would never wish it on anybody. It was the hardest time of my life, is what I hear very, very often. But where I'm at now as a result of it, I don't think I could have reached this place had I not walked through that. And so what I know is that beauty truly can rise from the ashes, that restoration is built into our hearts. So no wonder that made in the image of God, we desire it and we work toward it. And my hope is that for you, if you're in this situation, that you're in a coupleship where both parties are so serious and excited about the opportunity to really have a restored marriage here. But at the end of the day, I want you to know that healing is possible, regardless of where your relationship goes. And I'm speaking again to you as a partner. You can heal and take charge of that because you're worth it. It's a beautiful way to not let this pain go to waste. Healing has the power to overcome the trauma. And so I encourage you today, and I bless you in your journey, that you are going to be able to get through this.